think the reason we became a collective was because we had so many failures as a band. Because every time we tried to sort of be a band, there was always internal problems, and also we felt a little bit, you know, restricted in a way, you know, limited in what we could do. So I think the idea was to keep it as a collective, so different people could come in and out and work, and people could do their own projects.
I don't know, how many are all together?
It's a small village.
It's a lot, actually, yeah.
There's quite a few, because people come and go as well, you know, different musicians. And
I don't know, yeah, there's at least 10, I guess 10, right?
Yeah, but if you include musicians as well, it's probably more. It's like,
yeah,
probably
because
about
we do have a few bassists
15.
now.
Yeah,
It's a proper collective.
I think, yeah, I mean, our sound's never really been the thing that we've thought about. I think we've just always just gone in, you know, to write songs and make music and taking it how it takes us, you know. And I think the reason we've changed our sound is because it's quite, I think we find it quite hard to repeat ourselves. So if we do an album 2 years or 3 years later, we kind of all experience different things with music and different inspirations, so we're kind of in a different place every time. So it's kind of hard to repeat yourself, do you understand what I mean? It's one of those collectives that is always like discovering new things and trying different things, and I think that's why it's always changed, rather than being a band that always have that sound that's the same.
If I walk away from you, and leave my love, could I laugh again?
You know, one sample, one sound, one drum loop, one guitar riff, one lyric. You know, there's no set formula how we work. We kind of pair off. We're not the sort of musicians that all get in a room together and just jam out. That's not our vibe. You know, we spend a lot of time in the studio. We'll spend sort of time together and at home first, and then we'll sort of, you know, sort of blueprint ideas, and then we take them to the studio, and then we build on it and add. And so it's quite, yeah, it's very free that way, you know. It's not there's no set formula to, well, the lyrical writing. Well, again, all of us, you know, we're all writing ideas all the time with lyrics, and I think, like I said, sometimes it can be one line that we begin an idea with, and we know, you know, that's going to set a path for that specific song, or even an album. You know, we can come up with one kind of concept that we're talking about, and then we'll start writing a few songs, and we think, no, actually, let's make an album about this emotion or this idea, isn't it, really? It's
I mean, sometimes we have songs where we have the intention of like, all right, let's get all the singers on there, let's try to do some things, but for the most part, it's just kind of organic, and we'll hear, Darius will have a riff, and he'll know who wants to sort of, if it's going to be Holly or Dave or me or something, but we always try things, it doesn't always work out. It's pretty organic and just pretty natural creative process.
I think the thing is because we've always just really been passionate and creative about, you know, trying to just stick to doing our music. We've never really been distracted by anything else. I think that's probably why we've always continued to, you know, be relevant, if you like, you know. When we started 25 years ago, we were trying to get one album finished. It was like trying to get one album finished was such a hard thing. So you didn't even think about past, you know, all of those early albums were very difficult to make, you know.
It's very hard to think of an archive songs that are really close to you after with so many albums, because you kind of, they're like memories, you know. Once you finish an album, you kind of start thinking forward.
Chapter of your life, sort of thing.
It's like photographs or artwork or anything. It's kind of that. It's a time. So it's hard to sometimes remember why you wrote something at a point, you know what I mean? But every time we've written something, it meant something then, you know, in our own heads and in our own worlds. So
I think the nice thing about that, like Dan's saying, is that when those songs are done in the past, but now you see the reaction of your audience when they, you know, when they want to, there's a particular song and you connect with your audience and you see how much it means to them, it always keeps it alive, doesn't it?
It brings life back to the songs for us. Playing live is where...
You have to detach yourself from the initial meaning sometimes, or else it would pull you back, you know, sometimes.
It drags all the emotion back out, doesn't it, when we play them live? You know, you suddenly play lights, you forget. You just that starting with a ding, and just the whole audience go mad. You think, it's a powerful tune, you know, when it's kind of like, and it just brings it all back. And then you sort of on stage you remember bits and pieces, but you know why it's written. But
I think I think my favourite, it's hard to say one song, but I think my favourite album that I've listened to more is Axiom. If someone writes a very politically, you know, charged song, if it gets heard by a lot of people, then of course it makes a difference because people are becoming aware of that, you know, that message. But whether it actually changes anything, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to know, isn't it? I don't know, but you'd like to hope it does.
yeah, I don't consider us a sort of political band by any means, but when you find out that tracks like Fuck You and Bullets were used in Iran and stuff, wasn't it? And, you know,
in Iran they use archive songs for their marches against the government and stuff. You know?
It's, you know, that's powerful.
So it has meaning.
Yeah.
You know? Unfortunately, I think of a lot of the political, horrible stuff that's going on, I don't think music's really powerful enough, maybe. I think it needs more like a revolution or something.
Can't believe you were once just like anyone else. Then you grew and became like the devil himself. Pray to God I could think of a nice thing to say, but I don't think I can, so fuck you anyway. So fuck you anyway. So fuck you anyway. So fuck you anyway. Fuck you.
I did write a song about Greece, the half-built houses. That was driving through Greece, and it was driving through. So I can't remember where we were, but there was lots of half-built houses. You know, there was, you know what it's like. Greece, you build levels, and we were going through in a car, and I just came up with the title "Half-Built Houses," and that's where that came from. Greece inspired that.
Do you know we have to play that now?
Oh shit!
Really, a lot of memories, touring and also just in our personal lives, being here. And you know, this is only like our second time in what, 7 years since we've been back. So we're really excited to be back.
9 years, I think.
You know,
It's 9 years since our
Has it?
headline show.
well, we did the festival. Was
Yeah,
it
the
3 or 4 years
festivals, I mean,
ago?
our own show.
All right, so yeah, it's been 9 years since we've had our own show.
Yeah.
So like we've been more, we've been wondering when we were going to be able to come back, and
I really missed it.
you know, we have missed it a lot.
Miss Greece. for
Greece
sure.
is definitely in our hearts, you know.
Oh wait, we did Little Betters in 2003, I think. And
We were supposed to do it when we did the DVD, but it
yeah, we
rained.
were supposed to do it again, and it was raining. And then
2000.
This opportunity came to do this venue, and yeah, I mean, we've never been, so we're very excited.
I was very much looking forward to the tour. I think it's a great, it's kind of like where it's 25 years, it's kind of like a celebration of how far we've come. So there was a few new songs that we wrote for it, but it's really nice actually revisiting songs from the past, and it feels a little bit, there's always a lot of pressure when you play live, but it feels more, we're enjoying it a lot. The 3 shows we did earlier in the year in Paris and in France, we really enjoyed it, and it's like, it feels like this is a really nice defining, you know, moment within the collective, you know, within the band, you know, with all of us to have come this far. So it feels very much like it's not a celebration, but there's a lot of, it's very positive, the energy. So the tour.
Praying not for the cynical, quick stepping left, right, pick up as they march up for the pinnacle. Backing up the wild, stop digital, try to make peace while they'd rather make peace and erase the place they found.
As far as the future goes, we're going to be the first band to play in space. We're going to clone ourselves and keep going for 25,000 years. It'll just be the same people over and over again, and the music will keep evolving as well.
Yep.
You know, we might live to 150, you never know.
I'm not sure they've got enough
If
to
not
do with
us,
mine.
our children.
Not if Trump's still around. Come to the show and let's celebrate 25 years.
We're very happy to be back.
We just want to celebrate it with everyone, for
Yeah.
sure, all of our wonderful Greek friends.
There's nobody for me now. A silence fills you through. A time to tell the truth.